So, R.Kelly. I think this documentary was important because it not only gave us insight into R.Kelly, but in the allegations and the abuse that he's subjected several women to. I think it also, for a lot of us, gave us insight into the people that we call friends, that we call family, their train of thoughts and how they think about these types of things. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tlovespeaksss. I just want to send a big shout out to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining my community. If it's your first time on my channel, take a look around, see if you like what you see, and if so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the fam. So today I'm going to be doing another episode of Culture Shock, and by the title you'll see that it's going to be on the R.Kelly documentary series that aired last week. But before I get into that, I have a huge announcement. So today I have launched my official Culture Shock blog, and it's a place where I'll be discussing cultural issues more in depth. There are some topics that are good for videos, some that are just better for writing, and I love to write, so make sure you head over to tlovespeaksss.com. Yes, that is my website, and you'll find the matching article for today's video. So I'm doing a culture shock video on R.Kelly, and I also have an article on it. Head over to my website, read the article, leave a comment. Make sure you follow the blog. At the bottom of the webpage, there's an option for you to put in your email address, and you can stay updated on the latest articles that I write or the latest blogs that I write. I'm really excited about this, you guys. I love to write. Make sure you check it out, leave a comment, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts on the blog. Yeah, so Lifetime aired the documentary series Surviving R.Kelly, and it was highly viewed. We're still witnessing the fallout from it in terms of a lot of celebrities, you know, kind of denouncing R.Kelly. I think there's like some sort of FBI investigation going on. His daughter has come out and called him a monster. Like, we're basically just like witnessing the downfall of R.Kelly. I think this documentary was important because it not only gave us insight into R.Kelly, but in the allegations and the abuse that he's subjected several women to. I think it also, for a lot of us, gave us insight into the people that we call friends, that we call family, their train of thoughts and how they think about these types of things. I know my Facebook timeline was like super chaotic, like people basically, you know, are not arguing with each other, but just like status after status of people, you know, trying to explain like how terrible this is. And then for every status like that, there was a meme that was kind of like making fun of it. So it seemed like people were trying to like counter those memes. Like it was kind of crazy. And for me, I think that it was shocking because like some of the people close to me and some of my friends that I, you know, follow on Facebook, their reactions to it was kind of surprising. So basically I just want to get into some of the justifications that people try to throw out there that I kind of thought was absolutely ridiculous. So the first justification that was pretty popular was a lot of y'all used to date older men in high school, so y'all really don't got no room to talk. I mean, I don't really know how I feel about that. One, because it's true. I think that, you know, in high school, like, it was kind of a thing, like you were kind of doing something if you was a young girl and you had an older boyfriend. Like, I think that is just kind of like normalized in a way, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying it's right, it's definitely not right, but I definitely think that that is something that has been normalized, and so I don't necessarily know how to feel about that. But in terms of like a justification, I don't even think it's a justification. I think that even if girls typically like in high school date older guys, that's still wrong. Like if you're 14 and you're dating like a 25-year-old, like that's still wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like just because it happens doesn't make it right. And so I guess what I don't understand with that justification is like trying to normalize the behavior. Like what is this obsession with trying to normalize it? You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make sense to me. I think it's also very important to consider that justification in terms of Black girls who typically endure or experience their girlhood is shortened in comparison to white girls, which is problematic, you know, because basically they're seen as older and essentially forced to grow up quicker, and you know that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? So when you make that justification, you're essentially highlighting the problems with Black girls and girlhood, and I think that it's important that we kind of unpack that and you know, like actually realize what we're saying. So girls in high school date older guys. Like, I'm not really sure like what that has to do with the fact that R. Kelly was like holding girls against their will, sexually degrading them, making them sign contracts. Like I don't really understand like how that relates. Like what does that even mean? So I don't understand that justification. Y'all can let me know in the comments below. Number 2, I actually had somebody say to me that, you know, they just trying to like mess with his legacy like they did Bill Cosby. What? Like, I mean, what is R. Kelly's legacy? I mean, yes, he has contributed to, you know, Black culture through the form of music, and he's given us a lot of classics. But like what could your legacy be if you have all of this like overshadowing it? You know what I mean? And so I don't think that R. Kelly's contribution. I don't think R. Kelly's legacy was one of those that was just like up high to begin with, because he's always been like plagued by this stuff. It's not this just happened yesterday. Like, this stuff has been following him for his entire career. You know what I mean? And so as far as like, oh, ruining his legacy, no, he ruined his own legacy. You know what I mean? And it also places the blame on victims, you know, as if they're not supposed to tell their stories in order to protect R. Kelly's legacy. Like, no, that's not how it works. I do want to point out that like I am aware that like Black men sometimes are like harshly penalized or over criminalized for certain crimes, but like this is not this conversation. Like, we have to like really just sit down and call a spade a spade. Like, we've been provided evidence, and so we just have to accept that like R. Kelly's crazy, he's nasty, he's sick, he's disgusting. Like, we gotta accept that. Like, we just gotta accept it. I've accepted it, but I'm just saying like a lot of people haven't accepted it, so y'all gotta accept that. You know what I mean? It's not about legacies. It's not about, you know, trying to see a Black man fall. You know what I mean? And anytime you say, also I don't like that statement too, because it's like, you know, well, what about what the Black women, what about what the Black women endure? You know, why do Black women have to always remain silent in order to like protect everybody? I don't like the connotations of that and what that statement implies. Number 3, I wrote about this. They ugly anyways. Yeah, that one is like the worst, because like historically we know that Black women have, in terms of beauty standards, have always been held to the standards of Caucasian women, and you know, they've done things to assimilate themselves and try to, you know, fit that standard. So to say they ugly anyways is just like, you know, I think that statement reflects less on the women and more on the person who makes that statement, because it's just like, if you're a person that says they ugly anyways, I think that you already have this warped notion of Black women. And like I said in my article, like I had a Black woman make that statement to me. So I think it's important that if that's how you felt, that you not only analyze like if you're a black man, what that means, but if you're a black woman, like how you see yourself. Because if you're a black woman and you can stand there and say something like that, that means that you might have like, or likely you have a warped world view of yourself, or that you may give in to the negative images that are presented of us, you know what I mean? And so I also think it's important to know, like, which we all know, that we're bombarded with so many negative images of black women that if you don't have positive images in your life, or you're not seeing positive images, it is easy to succumb to that negative thinking. This is not my research area, so I'm not entirely sure, but I would also make the argument that like sexual abuse is never like about attractiveness, and it's more about power. And so when you look at the power dynamics, you know, with R. Kelly being like a influential person, and you have these women who are like basically at one point like vying for like his affection, it would seem that he would like see that and like use that against them, you know what I mean? So that still places him at fault, you know what I mean? Like, whether you feel they're attractive or not, like, that really has nothing to do with it, because sexual harassment, sexual abuse in general is not always about attractiveness. It's more about power and how you can express power over someone else. And the fact that he used these women is probably like a powerful thing, because one, they're black, and one, people are saying that they are less attractive, means that they most likely will not be believed. So I think you have to like really just get into the deepness of that statement. Another thing I want to talk about is that like there were older women on the series, and I know some people said that basically the older women should have knew better, but again, I think that goes back to power and how power works. Like, it's not like top down, like there's power in every interaction. So if you're a woman, if you're a regular woman and you're interacting with R. Kelly, like R. Kelly's gonna have the, you know, the influence in that situation. And because you want to like I guess gain some of that acceptance, you'll negotiate, you know, to get some of that benefit, whatever is offered. Now we see a lot of celebrities coming out denouncing him, which, you know, honestly, I just think they're doing it because it's, you know, it's profitable for them to right now. Because I'm sure people in the industry knew that R. Kelly was his way. Like, I think I saw on, was it CNN, something about like his tour manager like having a warrant for his arrest or something. I don't know, something like that. But my whole point is that like, I don't think anybody in the industry is like really shocked by this. I think they like, a lot of them knew about this type of stuff. So for them to come out and like denounce him now is just kind of like why are you doing it now? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't nobody do it then? Yeah, so that's all I have for you guys regarding the R. Kelly situation. Please make sure you leave your thoughts in the comment section below. You can also head over to my blog and leave your comments there as well. But that's all I have for you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.